Hi Jo, thank you so much for joining us to talk about your career and to share with our law students. We're going to start with an overview, so could you introduce yourself and what your role here is at Cunningham Young?
Okay, yeah, so I'm Cunningham, I'm a partner here at Cunningham Young and I head up the residential property team at the firm.
Okay, lovely, thank you. What can you tell us about Cunningham Young?
So we're a high street firm that's been practicing in the city for over 250 years. We deal with a number of areas of law, resi conveyancing, wills, tax, trust, probate, commercial property, litigation, family and resi property. Okay. So cover a wide aspect of legal needs.
Lovely, thank you. What type of work do you personally undertake here?
So I deal with residential property, so that could be anything from your normal house sales, purchases. I do a little bit of remortgage work, equity release, that sort of stuff really. So helping people move house is the main role for me.
Okay, lovely, thanks. You're a partner as well as obviously practicing as solicitor, so what's a typical week in your life like here at the firm?
Fairly busy, if I'm honest. Lots of different hats for me to wear as a partner as well as a fee earner. So there's a lot of admin for me to do as a partner, so I do a little bit of the firm's marketing as well. I obviously supervise my resi team as well as fee earning myself, so there's lots of different things for me to do throughout the week. So yeah, quite a busy time for me.
Lots of different hats.
Yeah, lots of different hats to wear.
Yeah,
as a partner you have different responsibilities as well as your fee earning responsibilities, so it's not just keeping your clients happy. You have to keep your staff members and the SRA and all the other compliance areas happy as well.
Okay, thank you. So thank you for the introduction. We're going to move on a little bit to your career development now and kind of how you got started and where you are.
Yep.
First, actually, why did you choose the legal profession?
I've been thinking about this question. It's just something I always wanted to do, really. Right. There wasn't any sort of particular moment that struck me when I was going through school. It was just something that I always had in the back of my mind. I was always interested in, and it's just something that I pursued from sort of secondary school onwards, probably, when I started my A-levels.
There wasn't any television programme or any person in your life that you could...
No, it's a bit boring, really, isn't it? I'd like to say there was, but it was just always something I was interested in. That was sort of it, really. I had a basic interest and then just moved it forward from there.
Grew it from there.
Yeah.
And I suppose the more you started to learn about it, the more you invested you became. Yeah. All right, so we've talked a little about what your role is week on week, but what's the greatest challenge that you encounter as a partner?
I've sort of alluded to it a little bit already, but it's making sure that I deal with each of my different roles and give each role enough time. So I've obviously got a large caseload, fee earning, so I have lots of fee earning work to do. I then have to supervise all of my colleagues on my team and make sure that I'm giving them enough time and helping them when they need it. Then dealing with all the other roles I have to deal with, so the marketing of the firm, we have a marketing team here that I have to coordinate with and talk to about the firm's marketing, and I'm also the COFA for the firm, which is the compliance officer for financial administration, so I deal with the bank and our accountants and making sure that we're complying with the SRA accounts rules as well. So it's making sure that I give enough time to each of those different elements to try and keep everyone happy.
Yeah, so time management.
Yeah, pretty much.
So on the flip side of that, what's unique to being a partner in terms of successes? So when do you really feel like there's a great success?
For me personally, it's just when the resi team sort of has success. So when we have a really good month, or we get lots of people moved in and out of their houses on a particular Friday, or a particular pinch point of the year where everyone wants to move in, and seeing the other team members, get good feedback from clients is really nice as well. So it's about seeing my team in the firm doing really well and, providing a really good level of client service to the clients.
Great.
That's the best bit for me.
Excellent. And then we have some very ambitious students who want to become partner. What key qualities do you think they could be developing from being a student now right through to their training to be on that path towards becoming a partner?
I think your students have probably heard it all before. There's lots of things that you have to be to have a successful career in the law. You have to be well educated. You have to be driven. You have to be really focused. But lots of people are going to have those same qualities as well. I think you have to have something that maybe sets you apart from everyone else. And And I also think you have to have a little bit of a business head on you. Ultimately, we're all here to provide legal services to our clients and provide a good level of care. But law firms are here also as their businesses. So to have an understanding of what you need to do as a fee earner and to contribute towards your firm's business plan moving forward is something that is what I would say would set someone apart from just a normal fee earner.
Great.
So having that sort of focus as well as being a good lawyer.
Yeah, that's good advice. I think that commercial awareness piece is so important. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to your training. So before you even started with the firm here, what was your route through to becoming qualified?
So I left secondary school. I went to school in Plymouth and then went to Plymouth University, did my law degree there. I then went on to do my LPC in Plymouth and then started my training contract here at Walkham Young. So fairly traditional route of qualification for me. I then spent training contract here, did a 2-year training contract, and then qualified into Resi Property, and I've gone on from there to become head of department and then a partner thereafter.
Great, thank you.
Fairly traditional.
Yeah. What did you, when you were studying at the university and you were engaged with your degree, was there anything else you were doing at the time of studying that has helped develop your career? So anything you were involved in whilst you were at university? Yeah,
so the usual sort of people usually attend sort of the mooting societies and they're members of the university's law society as well. I would encourage people to sort of maybe try and integrate with the junior lawyer division in the city, or whatever city they're looking to maybe qualify in to see if there's a junior lawyers division in the city, and try and get involved with that, go to some of their events, because that's where you'll meet practitioners in the city who are less than 5 years PQE, and it's those guys that are going to be able to give you the good sort of advice and maybe tips to help you move on to that next level in your professional career.
So connecting up rather than at the same level is really important.
Yeah, I think so. And just get yourself out there, talk to people, ask questions, be interested, and listen to what they're saying back. I have a lot of students who attend networking events with professionals, and they'll go up to people and they've obviously got their list of questions that they want to ask, which is great, and it's good that they're prepared. But then they sometimes don't, they'll just go through the script. They won't listen to the responses that they're having and adapt, and sort of listen to what someone's saying back to them and then commenting on it further.
Yeah.
They go through their script and because they want to get their questions out.
So would you advise kind of a genuine engagement and not feel so driven by what you feel you should be asking? Yeah.
Just be natural, talk to someone, be interested in what they do, how they do it, and try and engage with them if you can.
Yeah. My final question on training was, sometimes becoming a solicitor and probably certainly a partner can feel prohibitive. There's a lot of barriers. I'm sure you've had some of that yourself, but what advice would you give to a student who feels a little bit overwhelmed by the process?
I would just tell them to focus on the areas that they can control.
Yeah.
There are lots of things in life that is out of your control, but if you concentrate on the bits you can, and make sure that you're doing the best job you possibly can in each different area of your development, then that's all really you can do.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
I think your advice about just getting yourself out there's a big part of it, because other people can help you so much.
Of course, yeah.
So the final 3 questions are around commercial awareness, which we were talking about. So what factors do you see affecting the legal sector at the moment, which maybe are outside the law itself, but other things that influence the business?
Well, there's lots of different factors, and again, I would urge students not to focus on them too much. Okay. Try and concentrate on the areas you can control, but there are difficulties in the legal profession with legal aid. We do some legal aid work here at the firm, and there's been quite a widely publicised cuts in legal aid over the recent years. There's the political landscape at the moment, and various things that are going on. I won't mention the B word, but there's lots of external factors that come into play, but again, try not to focus on them too much. Concentrate on the areas that you can control would be my advice.
Great. And how do you stay up to date? Are there any particular publications? Because there's so much information out there. Anything that you really trust to keep
in the legal world, or just in general?
Just in general. Maybe as a partner specifically, is there anything you keep your eye on?
I keep an eye on the Law Society website. They used to send out a publication called the Gazette, which they send to all qualified solicitors. you can get that online now, so students can go on to the Law Society website and read through that. That gives them quite good insight as to what's going on across the profession, and it helps me keep in touch with. I'm a residential property lawyer. I'm not day to day involved with the criminal world, sort of legal aid world or family legal aid, but it helps me keep in touch sort of with what's happening in that area. There are other publications out there, sort of more general publications that talk about the issues that are happening in the country and in the world in general. There's a couple of good magazines that I read. So I try and keep in touch with everything if I can, but yeah.
Thank you, that's good advice. So yeah, finding things not only about the law in general, but also maybe an area you're particularly interested in is good advice. And finally, you may be somebody in a position in the future to take on new recruits and new trainees.
Yep.
What would you be particularly looking for from a trainee for your firm?
Someone that's driven, not necessarily someone that's got the best academic background. It obviously helps, and if you've got a good academic background, it proves that you're hardworking and that you're committed. But it's not the be all and end all, so don't worry about it too much. But someone who's got people skills, who can hold a conversation with you, who can have a discussion with you properly, and someone who's driven, focused, diligent. All of the normal cliche words, sure. I'm afraid, but yeah. Yeah.
Anything particular to this firm that you think you would look for in terms of cultural fit? Somebody would really sort of thrive here, because all firms are so different, aren't they?
They are, yeah. I think for this firm in particular, we're a high street firm. We've got 31 people. You have to have someone that gets on with people, and in a multi-practice firm. So they have to be, as I say, have good people skills, be able to get on with people well. Good teamwork.
Yeah,
team player.
Massive value, isn't it?